Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm talking about the two-part episode for Agent Carter. I know it's really late at night that I am posting this video, but I wanted to get this review up because it's Agent Carter, you know, kind of first female TV show that Marvel is doing, so I was really excited to see how the show would do and this miniseries would do. So I am going to review this episode, obviously, but I don't know if I'll review the other episodes just because the live show's on at the same time, and that's why this review's up so late. It was 2 hours, so it took a little while to watch. But if I get enough comments of people wanting me to review it, maybe I will review it episode by episode, but probably I'm just going to do a general mini-series review. So after the 7 episodes are over, I'll just do an overall review of the whole entire season or the whole mini-series. But let's talk about this episode. Or both these episodes. We learned a little bit about Peggy Carter, but I will say you probably have to watch the Captain America movies to understand who Peggy is. You get a good idea of her personality, but there's a lot of reference to the Captain America movies, especially the first Captain America movie. So that's definitely a disclaimer. It's 1948, it's right after the war, and Peggy is noticing, and I guess really as an audience you're noticing that men don't really treat women that well and in this time period, and we get to see that some women are being pushed to get married. Of course, it's a time where television's almost here, and you know, trying to convert to this suburban life, and you know, women just being pushed out of the workforce. So it's interesting how they really tie that into the show, but not really pushing it. I think it's just a really nice undertone of the show is, you know, how women were treated during this time and not really accepted in the workplace. But Agent Carter, Peggy, wants to be a strong female as an agent, but people don't really respect that and see her more of a secretary. And that's why she wants to help her good friend Howard Stark, who actually believes in her. And he's being framed by somebody by creating these, I would say kind of bombs. So there are this invention that's created, and he's being framed that all his inventions have been taken away, and now the people that Agent Carter works for want to put Howard Stark in jail, really, and say, oh, well, he was the bad one, and Peggy doesn't believe that. So Peggy and Jarvis team up to try to unframe, I want to say Tony, but it's not Tony, Howard Stark. So what did I think about the episode overall? I really like Peggy. The actress that plays her, I think, has such a great diverse acting skills, because you see her undercover in a lot of different situations here, and she's really great in getting to these different characters. Her being an American scientist or a blonde woman trying to get the grenade from somebody. So I think her as an actress, she was great at donning these roles and playing these kind of small little characters here, and of course playing the bigger character of Peggy. And Peggy's just a fun character. She's not too uptight. She's a little uptight, but she's still fun, and I think her personality really shined throughout the whole show, which obviously is a very important thing for this miniseries, being kind of the first female Marvel television show. So I think they did that so well here, and the actress, she did a perfect job. So Peggy in general is a really, really interesting character. I also like this as a period piece. Like I was saying before, I really like the undertones of how women were treated at the time, and especially just the idea of the workplace. And that's also why I like the secondary character of the 2 waitresses. I was really upset the first waitress died in this episode. I was like, oh, she was a really interesting insight of how women really were treated during this time. But also is that grounded element of it's not always about being a spy. There's, you know, other friends that Peggy has. And I think Peggy truly learns that by the end of the episode, that she needs to kind of open herself. And I like that secret identity idea, because I always think that's the most interesting thing about superheroes and being a spy, is you always have that secret identity of someone can't find out that you're an agent, or, you know, in Peggy's respect, that she's an agent. So I'm excited to see that friendship blossom with that with the waitress, and especially since that interview is like, well, you can't bring guys in. You have a curfew of 10 o'clock. It's like, I could see Peggy breaking all of these rules. So I'm really excited to see that kind of uptight environment, maybe have a great battle in that hotel. I would love that. So looking forward to scenes like that. If I did have a negative for this episode, I will say maybe the villain could have been more interesting. In the bomb, I feel like we could have learned a bit more. I understand they want to layer a mystery in the whole miniseries, but I really could have learned a little bit more about them. I tended to feel less interested in those type of scenes. But I think Howard Stark and Jarvis were, well, Howard Stark we didn't really get to see that much in these 2 episodes, but especially Jarvis was a great addition to the cast and just another layer to the different characters we're seeing here. We get to see the Agent Peggy Carter's people she works with in her work environment, then Jarvis, who kind of completely trusts Peggy, but at the same time trying to be this moral compass to her. So I like Jarvis's position here, and he might be, you know, something else. We don't really know what's going on with Jarvis, but seems like he has some other secrets too, so that should be interesting to play out throughout the whole miniseries. But yeah, overall, I think Peggy really shined here. I'm looking forward to learning more about the other agents. I like the one with, I guess the one who lost his leg. But he was a very interesting character, just didn't have a lot of time to shine here. And also for Chad Michael Murray, I would have liked to see a little bit more of him. I didn't really get a good idea of what his character is all about. You understand that he's kind of doesn't see Peggy as someone that could fight, but I would like to see those 2 characters fleshed out a bit more throughout the miniseries and learn more about those agents. Also, one last thing, I love the Captain America radio show they played, showing like, oh, Peggy's this defenseless woman, but she's the one actually ahead of the game, ahead of the other agents, trying to figure out why someone's trying to frame Howard Stark. So I really love that parallelism, even though they used a lot of stock footage for Captain America, because obviously Chris Evans wasn't going to be on the show, but it's just interesting that they used like the same scene about 3 times. But overall, I thought Agent Carter was a very solid show. I do think some characters need to be fleshed out a lot more, but Peggy herself was very fleshed out, and I'm looking forward to seeing where Agent Carter goes. So if you guys enjoyed, this is Comic Uno. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and the Rant Situations. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, in the description below, there's links for my comic book, like Father Like Daughter, and don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father Like Daughter. I'll see you guys later.